Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Oliveboard. Welcome to the revision session on commerce and accountancy. This is the part 1 for PFRDA Grade A. So we'll be doing the revision of commerce and accountancy in MCQ based format, right? So I welcome you all guys to the session. I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm visible. Good evening, Aditi. Good evening. Okay, thanks for confirming. Okay guys, let's start the session related to PFRDA Grade A 2025 Commerce and Accountancy Part 1. Okay. So guys, if you are preparing for PFRDA examination, you can check out our complete course. This is for both phase 1 and phase 2. We are giving 200 plus live sessions, 80 plus notes, and rest of the things also you can see on our website or application. The medium will be completely in English. This is for your entire end-to-end PFRDA preparation. You can download the Oliveboard app as well, and you'll be getting all the notifications related to PFRDA, RBI, SEBI and whatnot on your phone. Let's start with the first question. Which Indian accounting standard specifically governs the preparation and presentation of cash flow statement? This particular question came twice in the examination of SEBI, and I think one more examination maybe Airport Authority of India Finance. Okay, दो बार examination में आया हुआ है. Which Indian accounting standard specifically governs the preparation and presentation of cash flow statement? So what do you guys in the comment section, what do you think is the Indian accounting standard which is governing the cash flow statement? If I talk about the accounting standard, it is 3, accounting standard 3. But when I talk about the Indian accounting standard, which is the one? Anyone? Yes, IND AS 7 is the one. Okay, option C here is the correct. IND AS 7 is related to your cash flow statement. Please remember this particular accounting and Indian accounting standard. When I talk about accounting standard, it is 3, whereas for cash flow statement, Indian accounting standard is 7. Next, which of the following is not considered as a basic accounting assumption? Is not a basic accounting assumption. Good evening, Anushka. Okay, so the first opinion is none of the above. What about the others? Everyone in the comment section, guys, what's your opinion here? Which of the following is not considered as a basic accounting assumptions? This is a very simple question. Very good, Anushka. The correct answer here is prudence. Prudence is not at all a basic accounting assumption. So when I say basic accounting assumption, there are 3 assumptions: going concern, consistency and accrual. Okay, going concern, consistency and accrual. What do we mean by fundamental accounting assumption? The meaning of fundamental accounting assumption is, let's suppose if you guys give me your financial statement, if you guys give me your business ka financial statement, I'll assume that you have followed these 3 concepts. I'll assume, fundamentally, I'll assume that you have followed at least these accounting concepts: going concern, accrual and consistency, right? If you haven't followed these accounting concepts, you need to specifically state that thing in your notes to accounts. Okay, so here the correct answer will be prudence. Prudence is not one of the basic accounting assumption. Okay, next, tell me which of the following is not an accounting equation. So guys, this is a session, we'll be talking about here the basics of accounting. We'll be covering MCQs on the basics of accounting, and in the coming few sessions we'll be having a discussion on each and every topic of your syllabus in MCQ terms, right? Which of the following is not an accounting equation? इनमें से कौन सा एक accounting equation नहीं है? The correct choice here is option D. Asset is equal to liability minus capital. This is false. Rest, if you try to test each and every statement, the accounting equation is asset is equal to liability plus capital. Okay, so let's test statement 1. Liability is equal to asset minus capital. So if I transfer this capital on the left hand side, so I'll get asset is equal to liability plus capital only, right? And same is the case with the rest of the two, B and C. So D option is not correct here. Asset is equal to liability minus capital. This is not the accounting equation, and we need to find out the incorrect statement only here. So D is the correct choice. Okay, accounting equation is asset is equal to liability plus capital. This equation is based on the dual aspect of accounting. We can see that all the assets are equal to my liability and capital, right? So asset is equal to liability plus capital. This is the accounting equation, and it will always hold true. Okay, next question. Under the traditional accounting rule, the account for rent is typically classified as which of the following account? Under the traditional accounting rule, the account for rent is typically classified in which of the following account? Personal, real, nominal, artificial, or representative? Okay, so I'm getting 3 answers in the comment section. तीनों के तीनों different है. Aditi is saying representative, Anushka is saying C, nominal account, and Jagannath is saying E, representative account. The correct choice here will be option C, nominal account. Okay, rent account is nothing but a expense. Rent is a expense, right? And all the income and expenses are classified under the nominal account. Okay, all the income and expenses are classified under the nominal account. Next, which of the following account has a credit balance? So what do you think, guys? Which of the following account is having a credit balance? Option A, return inward, carriage inward, carriage outward, return outward, or none of the above? Which of the following has a credit balance? Now here you need to know the modern rule of accounting at least. Which of the following account has a credit balance? Any guesses? Okay, let's solve this. So as of now, I have received only one response from Anushka, option D. Okay, return outward. What about others? Acha, what do you guys mean by return inward? Now accounting is very simple, as the name says it all. Return inward. The return is coming inward. That means in the past I have sold goods, I have made a sales. Now maybe the customer don't like the product, so that's why there is a return inward. Goods are coming in again, right? So the balance of sales is credit, right? The balance of revenue, sales, income is credit. So obviously the balance of the opposite of it, return inward, it is nothing but sales return. It is nothing but sales return. So if the balance of sales is credit, then the return inward balance will be debit, right? So this won't be having a credit balance. So first option is not correct. Carriage inward, carriage outward. What do you mean by carriage inward and carriage outward? Let's suppose I have bought goods. I have bought goods. So it's a truck, no doubt. I don't think it's looking like a truck. Let's assume that it's a truck only, right? So if I have bought goods, the goods will come in my factory. I need to pay transport expense. This truck will come, deliver the goods. So I need to incur transport expense, right? So here, this is called as carriage inward. Okay, this is called as carriage inward. Carriage outward means here carriage outward means, let's suppose I have sold goods. I have sold goods. So what I need to do? I need to again incur transport expense. I need to again incur transport expense to get this delivered to the customer's address. That is called as carriage outward. So basically, they both are nothing but travel expenses, transport expenses, and expenses always have a debit balance, right? Expense always have a debit balance, right? So तीन ऑप्शन तो गलत हो गए. Return outward is called as purchase return. It is also called as purchase return. So in the past, I have purchased something, purchased some goods. Now I don't like those goods, so I am returning it. That's called as return outward. Now purchase has a debit balance and return outward is having a credit balance, right? So option D here is correct. Option D here is correct. Return outward, which is also called as purchase return. Okay, so purchase is having debit balance. Obviously, return outward will be having a reverse balance of it, which is credit. Okay, next. So you should know the modern rule of accounting. That's why I have pasted this table as well. So asset and expense go hand in hand. If they are increasing, debit it. Liability, capital, and revenue, if they are increasing, credit it. Next, a company purchases a car for 3 lakhs by paying 50,000 in cash. So they are purchasing a car for 3 lakhs. And how they have paid? 50,000 in cash. In rest, they have taken a loan. They have borrowing of 2.5 lakhs. What effect this transaction will have on the accounting equation? What effect this transaction will be having on the accounting equation? What will be the impact on the accounting equation here? What will happen to asset? What will happen to liability? What will happen to capital? We all know that accounting equation is nothing but asset is equal to liability plus capital, right? So how this transaction is going to impact my accounting equation? Look, I'm purchasing a car. So can I say that asset will increase by 3 lakh as of now? Because I'm purchasing a car. I'm taking a loan as well for 2,50,000. So can I say that loan is also increasing by 2,50,000, right? Then I'm paying 50,000 in cash. Cash is again my asset. So asset is again going down by 50,000. So what will be the net impact? 2.5 lakh rupees both on asset and liability side, right? So asset will increase by 2.5 lakh. Liability will also increase by 2.5 lakh. Okay. I hope it's clear. Next is, as per which accounting concept the journal entries are recorded from business point of view and not from the owner's point of view. As per which accounting concept journal entries are recorded from the business point of view and not from the owner's point of view. It's a straight and a very simple question. The correct choice here is business entity concept. Okay, business entity concept here is the correct choice. We treat the owner of the business and the business separately. That's why we show capital on the liability side, right? That's why we show capital on the liability side. Next is the opening inventory is 3,500, closing inventory is 1,500, cost of the goods sold is 22,000. What is the amount of purchase here? What will be the amount of purchase here? So we know the formula of cost of the goods sold is nothing but opening stock plus purchase plus direct expense minus closing stock. That's the formula, right? So here I am having cost of the goods sold 22,000. Do I have opening stock? Yes. 3,500. Do I have closing stock? Yes. Purchases, purchase तो निकालना है. Purchase ही तो निकालना है. Direct expenses 0. Closing stock is 1,500. So 22,000 minus 3,500 plus 1,500 will be my purchase, right? 20K will be my answer. Simple. Option A here will be my answer. Okay. Next, revenue and expenses must be recorded in the period in which they are earned or incurred, no matter when cash receipts or outlay occur. This is followed as per which accounting method? What will be the correct choice here, guys? Revenue and expenses must be recorded in the accounting period in which they are incurred or earned, no matter when cash receipt or outlay occur. They have clearly stated that the answer cannot be cash basis of accounting, no matter when cash receipt or outlay occur. So cash basis cannot be the correct choice. Tax basis of accounting, revenue basis of accounting. The correct answer here is mercantile basis of accounting. We also call it as accrual. Mercantile basis of accounting is another name of accrual basis only. So please do remember, mercantile basis is nothing but accrual basis only. So when we say accrual basis, we mean that transactions are recorded in the period in which they takes place, not when settlement in money takes place, right? Transactions are recorded in the period in which they takes place, irrespective of the money settlement. Next is debtor and creditor should be classified as what type of accounts in the traditional accounting? I'm talking here about the debtors and creditors. They should be classified as what type of accounts in the traditional accounting? Personal, real, nominal, artificial, representative. So this is from the traditional rule of accounting. Now if you want to make journal entries, then you need to follow the modern rule of accounting. That's a better approach. However, you need to very well learn the traditional concept of accounting as well. That's very, very important for your examination. Question can directly come from that as well, right? The correct choice here is personal account. Okay, debtors and creditors are God's creation. That's why we classify it in the personal account, and the sub classification here will be what? Natural person. राइट उसमें भी क्लासिफिकेशन होते हैं ना, नेचुरल पर्सन, आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पर्सन. So the sub classification here will be natural person because they are God's creation. Next, how should outstanding rent be classified according to the traditional rule of accounting? How should the outstanding rent be classified? Outstanding rent as per the traditional rule of accounting. The correct choice here is option C, personal account. Why? Because outstanding rent is representing someone. Is representing someone. Whom it is representing? Let's suppose I have an outstanding rent. I need to pay my rent. It's due. So it's representing my landlord. So it's a personal account. In personal account, it is representative personal account. It is a representative personal account. That too, in the personal account, there is a sub classification, right? Sorry. So please do remember, when I say rent, it is a nominal account. When I say outstanding rent, it is a representative personal account. Rent is an expense. Outstanding rent is a liability. It's representing somebody, right? So that's the difference, and don't get confused between nominal account and representative personal account. Okay. Next is IND AS are notified by which of the following entity? Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Finance, SEBI, RBI, or the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We are talking here about the Indian accounting standards. Now, when I say accounting standards, the answer is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, right? जहां से सारे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स बनते हैं, उस इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम है. पर ये अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड के लिए, इन द क्वेश्चन इट इज रिटन IND AS आर नोटिफाइड बाय विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग. सो द आंसर वॉन्ट बी ऑप्शन ई. सेलेक्ट सम अदर ऑप्शन. Option E won't be the correct choice here. RBI also is not the correct choice. Select one from the three. Yes, Anushka. Option A here is the correct choice. Yes, Aditi. Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay, Ministry of Corporate Affairs is the correct choice. When we are talking about Indian accounting standard, they are notified by MCA. Okay, they are notified by MCA. Next, a company issued 10,000 shares at a premium of 10% with a face value of 10 rupee per share. How much amount will be credited to the securities premium account? How much account will be credited to the securities premium account? 10,000 is the number of shares, okay, not the amount. So 10,000 is the number of shares. ₹10 is the face value. I am issuing it at ₹11 face value plus securities premium. How much amount will go to securities premium account? Anushka and Jagannath, can you guys please revisit? The correct choice here is option A, 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Why? 10,000 is the number of shares. So this ₹11 is having two parts. ₹10 is the face value. ₹1 is the premium amount, securities premium amount. So 10,000 into 1 will be my securities premium, right? 1 lakh will go to share capital. 10,000 will go to securities premium. Okay. Out of this 11, 1 lakh rupees will go to share capital. 10,000 will go to securities premium. Next, which of the following accounting standard is related to accounting for depreciation? Depreciation accounting. AS10 or AS6? AS10 or AS6? Why not 6? AS6 is no more. Okay, they have scrapped the AS6, and they have earlier what used to be there is AS6 was for depreciation, AS10 was for fixed asset. They scrapped the accounting standard 6, and now depreciation is being covered by fixed asset only. So as of now there is accounting standard 10. Can anyone tell me the name of the accounting standard 10? Is it fixed asset? Is it fixed asset? Or the name is something else? Property, plant and equipment, PPE. Okay, property, plant and equipment. It is not fixed asset, it is property, plant and equipment, accounting standard 10. And now the depreciation related thing is also being covered by accounting standard 10, which is property, plant and equipment. Okay, the capital required for day-to-day business operation is known as working capital. How do we calculate the working capital? How can we calculate the working capital? Current asset, net current asset, current liability, non-current asset, non-current liability. Net working capital is not an option here. Net current asset is definitely option. Net current asset is the correct choice. What do you mean by net current asset? It is also called as current asset minus current liability. Okay, net current asset, option B here is the correct choice. Okay, so when I talk about working capital, we are having two types of working capital: gross working capital and net working capital. When I talk about net working capital, it's current asset minus current liability. We also call this as net current asset. Gross working capital, total of current asset. Okay, when somebody asks you working capital, you will directly say net working capital, which is current asset minus current liability. Okay, until and unless they clearly ask you gross working capital, you will never say total of current asset. Okay, if somebody asks you clearly gross working capital, then only you will be taking the total of current asset. If they simply state working capital, that means your net working capital only. Okay, you will assume it as net working capital. Under which of the following heads will machinery under construction will be presented in the balance sheet by the company? Under which of the following heads will machinery under construction be presented in the balance sheet of the company? Capital WIP is the correct choice. Okay, so if I say a non-current asset, in non-current asset in fixed asset we have a criteria of capital WIP. So this machinery is still under construction, so we will treat it as capital WIP. Next, the aggregate cash flow arising from obtaining or losing control in subsidiaries or other businesses should be classified as what? Operating, financing, investing, or equity activity. In the cash flow statement, how you will be classifying this particular transaction? If you have liquidated or maybe obtained control of subsidiary company or any other business, what will be the activity here? Option C, investing activity. Okay, investing activity here is the correct choice. You are making investment in your subsidiary, or either you are liquidating your investment, right? Next, the original cost of the asset is 2 lakh. Depreciation is 10% per annum at the WDV. What is the written down value of the asset at the end of 3 years? What is the written down value of your asset at the end of 3rd year? The correct choice here will be option B. Okay, option B. So 2 lakh minus 10%, whatever will come, again minus 10%, whatever will be coming, again minus 10%. Right, so 2 lakh minus 10%, 1 lakh 80,000, 1 lakh 81,000 minus 10%, so on you will compute. You will get 1 lakh 45,800. Okay, this is as per the WDV method. WDV means written down value method. Okay. Deferred tax liability is shown under which of the following heads in the balance sheet as per the Companies Act 2013? कौन से head में deferred tax liability will be shown? Non-current liabilities. Okay, non-current liabilities, option B. Right, which accounting concept or approach ensures that the financial statements present a true and fair view of the company's financial position? The correct choice here will be prudence. Okay, prudence. It's talking about true and fair view, right, of the financial position, and as per prudence concept, assets and income should not be overstated, liabilities and expenses should not be understated, right? So indirectly it's reflecting towards true and fair view only. Prudence here will be the correct choice. Okay, next, The cost of the asset is 60,000, the useful life is 10 years, depreciation rate is 10%. They have given you the salvage value or scrap value as well of 10,000. What will be the value of depreciation for third year as per the straight line method? Value of depreciation for third year as per the straight line method. The correct choice here will be option A, 5,000. Okay, if it's a straight line method, this rate won't be any kind of helpful for me, right? I just need the original cost 60,000 minus 10,000, which is the scrap value, divided by the useful life. So 5,000 will be my every year depreciation, and as this is a straight line method, it will always be the same only. It will always be the same only. So they have asked me the depreciation only. So even if I talk about the first year depreciation, it will be 5,000, 10th year depreciation will be 5,000, it won't change, right? Depreciation in straight line method is always the constant. So A option is the correct choice. Acha, what do you mean by OCI, other comprehensive income? Other comprehensive income. What do you guys mean by OCI? Now this question can directly come in your examination. So this term is as per Indian accounting standard, okay, IND AS. This term is being used in the Indian accounting standard, OCI. The correct choice here is income and expense not included in the P&L account, such as unrealized gains and losses. So what happens here is, in the Indian accounting standard, we prepare a statement of comprehensive income. In that we prepare statement of profit and loss account and statement of other comprehensive income. So all the unrealized gains and losses we usually show it in OCI rather than routing it via P&L, right? So the whole statement name is statement of comprehensive income. It has two parts, statement of P&L and statement of OCI. The unrealized gains and losses we transfer it to OCI usually. Next, if by mistake an accountant debits wage account for hiring a labor for installation of the machinery, he has committed what kind of error here? Let's suppose I bought a AC, air conditioner, I bought a AC, right? So I hired a labor for installing this AC, for the installation of this AC, okay, for the installation of this AC. Now my accountant has treated this in the wage account, salary and wage account. What should be the ideal treatment? Whenever I buy an asset, if the expense is directly attributable expense as per accounting standard 10, I need to add that thing in the cost, right? This is a directly attributable expense. Installation, without installation, and I cannot use my air conditioner, right? I cannot use this AC without installation. So the principles of my accountant is not so sound here, right? Here the correct choice will be error of principle, right? This is an error of principle. Ideally, it should be treated as a capital expenditure and added to the cost of the asset, because it's a directly attributable expense as per the accounting standard 10. However, my accountant has wrongly treated it as a revenue expenditure by debiting the wage account. Next, interesting question. Goods costing 60,000 sold to Manish at a profit of 25% on sales, less trade discount 5%. You need to calculate the amount to be shown in the sales account. The cost of the goods is 60,000. The sales value is not given. They have given a relationship 25% profit on sale. Trade discount 5%. we need to calculate what goes to the sales account. A technical question. In this question, you should be having good knowledge of quant and good knowledge of basics of accounting. Anyone? Acha, tell me what will be the sales value? What will be the sales value? My cost is 60,000. They have given me profit is 25% on sales. What will be the sales value? Can anyone tell me? What will be the sales value? What will be the sales value? 72,000. How? Look, let's assume sales as 100, profit is 25% on sales, so my cost will be 75. So you know the cost 60,000, so 60,000 divided by my cost, which is 75, multiplied by 100, which is sales. So what do you get? What you will get here? The sales amount. What is 60,000 divided by 75 into 100? 80,000, right? 80,000. Now if 80,000 is your sales, do you record trade discount in your books of accounts? Do you record trade discount in your books of accounts? Never. So 80,000 minus 5% will be 76,000. This will go to your sales account. This will go to your sales account. We never record trade discount in our books of accounts because it's decided at the time of negotiation itself, right? However, if this is a cash discount, the tables can turn in that case, right? As of now, the correct answer is 76,000. Next, which of the following is not a qualitative characteristic of accounting? A very simple and a very straight question. Comparability is a characteristic of accounting. Let's suppose you have a data of 2024, you can compare it with 2025, and that's why we do accounting, right? Understandability is also one of the characteristics of accounting. The correct choice here is conformity. There is no such thing as conformity as a qualitative characteristic of accounting. Okay, next. Which accounting principle is followed when advertising expenditure is classified as deferred revenue expenditure? Look, what is advertisement expense? Let's suppose in Mumbai and Delhi, I started doing advertisement Prateek Sir, marathon session. Let's suppose I started doing advertisement in Mumbai and Delhi, right? It costed me 1 lakh rupees. It costed me 1 lakh rupees. Okay. And let's suppose this expenditure of 1 lakh rupee will give me benefit. This is an expense. Ideally, I should have transferred this entire expense of 1 lakh rupee in my P&L account, because that's an expense, and expenses and income always go to the P&L account. However, let's suppose because this is an advertisement expenditure, I'll be getting benefit from this expense for, let's suppose, 4 years. For example, let's assume it's a big expenditure on advertisement. Let's assume it. Okay. So I'll be getting a benefit for the coming 4 years. So this is called as deferred revenue expenditure. I will defer it. I will only charge 25,000 in the current year. Why 25,000? 1 lakh divided by 4 years. So in the first year 25,000, in the second year 25,000, in the third year 25,000, in the fourth year 25,000. Why? Because it's helping me earn revenue in 4 years. That's why I have allocated the expenditure in the 4 year, right? That's why I have allocated the expenditure as well in the 4 years. So don't you feel that I am trying to match the expenses with that of the related revenue? The correct answer here is option D, matching concept. Option D, matching concept. I'm just trying to match the expenditure with the corresponding revenue. Why? Because advertisement expense is giving me benefit for 4 years. That means it will bring me revenue for the next 4 years. So it's better to bifurcate this in the 4 years. 25k each, 25k each. So that's what I'm doing. I'm matching the expenditure with that of my revenue, right? That's a matching concept. So deferred revenue expenditure is based on the idea of matching concept. Next, in the context of accounting principles, on what basis are financial accounts generally prepared to ensure accuracy and completeness? On what principle financial accounts are generally prepared to ensure accuracy and completeness? Is it single entry, cash basis, accrual basis, double entry bookkeeping, or receipt basis? Yes, the correct answer here is double entry bookkeeping. Okay, double entry bookkeeping. Now, as per Ministry of Corporate Affairs roadmap, IND AS is applicable to certain class of companies based on their net worth. Which of the following threshold determines mandatory applicability for unlisted companies? For listed companies, they need to follow IND AS irrespective of their net worth. However, for unlisted company, on achieving how much net worth, on hitting how much net worth, they need to compulsorily follow the IND AS. Yes, 250 crore is the correct choice. Okay, so net worth of 250 crore or more, then you need to compulsorily follow the IND AS if you are an unlisted company. Next, what is the purpose of making a trial balance? A very simple question, a very direct question. Still ये एग्जाम में multiple times आ चुका है. Purpose of making trial balance. Yes, option D, arithmetic accuracy, and as the name says it all, trial balance. We are just trying to match the balance, right? So we are just checking the arithmetical accuracy, whether things are fine before we prepare the financial statement, before we go ahead with the financial statement, whether everything is matching, whether debit is equal to credit, right? Next question is your homework question. Okay, so read this question and let me know in the comment section later on, okay, in the normal chat section, that what should be the correct choice here. Okay, so thank you so much guys, I hope you have enjoyed it. We'll be coming with more and more MCQ sessions related to your PFRDA. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. See you in the tomorrow's YT live class at 8 p.m. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.